Alright, this is section 12.3% composition. And here's the objectives. Be able to calculate percent composition by mass if you're given the mass of the elements and if you're given the formula or the name of a compound. Be able to do it both ways. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about what percent mass or percent composition is. And when we're talking about percent composition, we simply mean what's the percentage by mass of each element. So if we're talking about water, for instance, water by mass is 11% hydrogen, 89% oxygen. So if you had 100 grams of water, you'd have 11 grams of hydrogen and 89 grams of oxygen. Okay. Now, notice that that's different. It's H2O, so there's more hydrogen by, atoms, but not by mass. So we're looking at the mass, not how many atoms there are. Experimentally, you simply, if you were doing this in a lab, you would find the mass of all the elements, separate out the hydrogen and oxygen, find the mass, divide it by the total mass, and that's how you would calculate it. Pretty easy for that one. So let's do an example. Let's say that you've got 50 grams of NH3, and you separate it out, and you find out that you get 41 grams of nitrogen and 9 grams of hydrogen. Well, remember, when you're trying to find percents, percent is usually, I always say it's part over whole. So what part you're talking about. So let's say I'm talking about nitrogen. So it's 41 grams of nitrogen over the total, the whole thing, 50 grams of the whole thing. And then to change it to a percent, take it times 100. Well, 41 out of 50 is going to give you 82%. If we do the other one, 9 out of 50 times 100 is going to give you 18%. And all your masses, if you add them all together, need to give you 100%. Alright, so that's the easy way, but you can do it without any of those numbers just by knowing what the substance is. So they say, what's the percent composition of iron 3 oxide? Well, first of all, you better remember how to write the formula for iron 3 oxide. So iron 3 plus, oxygen's a 2 minus, and we know our formula is going to be crisscross these, Fe2O3. So there's my formula. If I want to figure out the mass of this, here's what we do. First, figure out the molar mass of iron 3 oxide. So add it all up. So 2, if you look up iron, it's 55.8 plus 3 times 16, and that equals 159.6. So if I had a mole of Fe2O3, I'd have 159.6 grams. And then just take part over whole. So here's my iron part, the 2 times 55.8. So take that, 2 times 55.8, or 111.6, and put it over the whole thing, 159.6. Take it times 100, and what you end up with is 69.9. Okay, do the oxygen now. Take this part. 3 times 16 is 48. So you're going to take 48. You're going to divide it by the whole, the 159.6. You're going to take it all times 100. And you're going to end up with 30.1. And your check is just make sure they add up to be 100 when you're done. Alright, let's do another one. Let's do aluminum sulfate. Okay? So first we got to figure out what's the formula mass of aluminum sulfate. Well, 2 times 27, that's what aluminum is, plus there's a 3 here, and that takes it 3 times this and 3 times the O4. So there's 3 sulfur, so 3 times 32.1 plus 3 and 4 makes 12, 3 times 4, 12 times 16 for oxygen, and the overall mass 342.3. Okay, so that's our whole. Then just do the parts. Okay, so for aluminum, do the 2 times 27, so 54 over 342.3 times 100 gives you 15.8. If you do the next one, sulfur, 96.3 over 342.3 times 100, I guess, don't forget that, equals 28.1%. These are all percents, of course. And then the last one, the oxygen, would be the 12 times 16, which is 192, over the whole, 342.3 times 100, and you get 56.1. Alright, I want you to stop the video and do this one, and then I'll come back and give you the answer here in just a little bit. So stop the video. Okay, so if we add it up, 52 plus 3 times 35.5 gives me molar mass 158.5. To find chromium, take the part 52 divided by 158 times 100 gives me 32.8%. To find my chlorine part, 3 times 35.5 is 106.5 over 158.5 times 100 gives me 67.2%. Okay, so there's my two percentages. Once again, they add up to be 100%. There you have it.